We be racing indeed. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Vidane TV, little Wednesday night edition of the Lugz Racing Series here at Michigan. 150 laps here at the 2-mile oval. Really looking forward to it. Got to give a shout out to our man here. It usually drives the number 9, just getting out of some major surgery. But from what we understand, everything is A-OK going for the best. Matt Mackin, one of the drivers here, the driver of the number 9 Napa car here for the Hendrick Motorsports stable, unable to make the field here tonight. Home recovering, definitely out there watching though here live on Vidane TV. Want to send all of our well wishes and make sure you get a speedy recovery. But lots of action getting ready to kick it off here tonight. We can take a look here as these drivers start to get down on the grid. We'll get all the timing and scoring updated here as soon as we cross the green flag for the start of the field here. But man, oh man, 150 laps here at Michigan. Really excited to kick this thing off. You can see all these drivers down on pit road getting ready to do battle once again here for the Lugz Cup Series. Good evening, everybody. Again, I am Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. here for Vidane TV. Little solo action, doing some production trailer commentary work here at Michigan. We wouldn't have it any other way here, entertaining the masses. Be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff, a follow, all that good stuff on the social media outlets. Vidane TV on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on TikTok even. Look for us. We're there. Be sure to take a look at that as well, and be sure to check out all the new merchandise over at Vidane.shop, www.vidane.shop. Get yourself some Vidane TV merchandise, some Angry Tree Guy merchandise. We're the official home of Rent a Race Car as well, so lots of cool t-shirt designs over there at the Vidane.shop, the virtual booth as it were. And we're always looking forward to entertain the masses, especially with the merchandise. But you can see the field getting ready to, or the field is already rolling off the field or off the pit road, as it were. Everybody trying to get caught up. There's Ken Ellert in the 23 car. Bobby Justice in the number 2 car. Looks like he's going to start from the pit road entry there. You can see he hasn't left his stall just yet, but up front, you can see the 24 car is on the pole, and Douthwaite in the 34, he is over on the outside there. So really going to be an interesting race here at Michigan. We made mention 150 laps here at the 2-mile track. Really looking forward to it, getting ready to kick things off here. And again, you'll be able to follow along at home up on the top with the timing and scoring once that gets updated with the drop of the green flag. Lots of action here. We're getting closer and closer to the championship playoffs here for the Lugz Cup Series. Going to be taking you through the weekly racing action here on Wednesday nights all the way through the end of the month of January in 2022. And lots of stuff coming up on Vidane TV, but more on that later. We wait for that green flag. There it is. Barney in the flag stand drops that green flag. Hammer down for all these drivers. The 24 kicking it off with one heck of a start. And you can see he's already got about a car length or so over Chris Spear in that 7 car, but he's already trying to get up on the high side, trying to make the magic happen early on here. Lap number 1, keep an eye on that number 7 car. Chris Spear, multiple-time winner here in the Lugz Cup Series. Ed Boyles Jr., your current points leader heading into tonight. The number 5 Valvoline car there sitting in the 3rd position. But for how long? You can already see his Hendrick Motorsports teammate has a windshield full of that 7 car up on the high side. That's going to open the door on the bottom side for Ed Boyles Jr. to try and peek his nose down on in there and make it a Hendrick Motorsports 1 and 2 here for lap number 1. And 75 laps in the book, not 150. That's 150 miles is the distance of the race here. So there you can see it, Hendrick Motorsports 1 and 2. Wade Palmer the 5th up front in the number 24 car. And there you can see the number 5 car of Ed Boyles Jr. currently sitting in the 2nd position. But for how long? Chris Spear in that number 7 car, dipping all the way down to that almost to the yellow line down at the bottom of the racetrack, trying to make something happen. You can see Preston Creer in the 38 back there in 4th position, trying to get around David Douthwaite in the 34, and sitting currently in the 3rd position. But It seems like early on here, the high side seems to be the place to be. You can see a lot of the drivers checking out different angles, different lines, whoa, a little bit of a mix-up there with the teammates, but everybody keeps it pointed straight forward and heading towards the finish line. There you can see Michael Miller in the 48 car in the top 5. Currently in the 5th position with the Hendrick Motorsports teammates up in the 1st and 2nd spot. David Douthwaite now down low on that P2 driver of Ed Boyles Jr. trying to make the freight car headed up towards the front. A little bit of a push there from Preston Perrier. 38 car is going to dip up on the high side. Caution flag out rather quickly here. Lap number 48 brings the caution out. We'll see if we can pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay and find out exactly what the deal was and why it is we're under caution here for the very first time. Starting to look like it may very well have been the 11 car of Wayne Bowen. To pull up the replay here as we see it. Keep an eye on that number 11 Air Jordan car. We saw as we were rewinding the tapes, a little bit of a mishap there for the 11 car. Faced that nose into the outside wall. Here you can see heading into the corner down on the bottom side. Everything looks A-okay. The exit seems to be pretty good. A little 3-wide action as we come off of turn number 4, crossing the stripe. Everything seems to be good here. And as we head down into turn number 1, there you can see a little bit of contact between the 11 and the 42. Might have been a car down there on pit lane, but there you can see the 11 actually taking out his 19, the 19 car as his teammate holds the brakes and makes sure that he keeps that car out of the racing group as everybody comes to a little bit of a lull in the action here on lap number 5. But that's a tough break for the 11 of Wayne Bowen. Gonna have to restart towards the end of the field. Doesn't look like he lost a lap. Doesn't look like a crazy big hit or anything like that. So the good news is the 11 car lives to fight another day, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case for that 19 car, his teammate in the 19 car. Lots of black smoke coming out of the back of that machine for Trevor Absher. So we'll have to take a look and see if he's able to get that thing repaired and back out on track. But a little bit of a mishap for some Joe Gibbs Racing teammates, unfortunately. But up front, Wade Palmer the 5th in a 24 car holding on to it. Ed Boyles Jr., Hendrick Motorsports teammate in the number 5 holding on to the 2nd spot. David Douthwaite, Preston Perrier, and Michael Miller, another Hendrick Motorsports car holding on to the top 5. And we do have some drivers towards the second half of the pack doing a little bit of pit stop action. Going to come down, maybe top off on fuel, and it looks like it is going to be fuel only for a lot of these drivers down on pit lane. Going to be topping off, trying to get a little bit of an advantage, as it were, to maybe extend the fuel mileage out just a little bit. Bobby Justice, the first car off of pit road. Looks like he's actually got a 15-second pit stop. He got 4 fresh tires on that machine. Ian Yeager, Eric Kling, Alonzo King, Tim Wortman Jr. and company down on pit road. Some drivers down there getting some damage repaired. Wayne Bowen, Sean Rhodes, Drew Moffitt down there as well. Trevor Absher and Kenny Capola down on pit road as well. 4 laps down already for the 77 machine. That's a tough break for the Sasquatch Juice number 77, but we'll get everything restacked and ready to rock and roll here. Working lap number 6, still under caution. There you can see the iRacing lights on the pace car there. So already a little bit of action here at Michigan. 75 laps rather on the board, already 6 laps in, and lots of iRacing. Speaking of iRacing, lots of iRacing action coming up here in the next couple of months. October is an absolutely stacked card with the return of the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing group. They're going to be coming back next Tuesday, October 5th, and we're really excited to have them. They're going to be racing multiple days of the week throughout their 3rd season. Going to see if John Peters can come home with a 3rd championship in a row. Johnny Two Belts trying to defend that championship, as it were. November 20th, already announced this earlier this week here on Facebook, on the Vidane TV Facebook page. We got the Bottle Rocket 350, little trucks at Daytona. Fixed setup. That's going to be opening registration here later on this week. More than likely this weekend. We'll get all the information out on the social media outlets, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, Snapchat, all that good stuff. We're going to have all the information out there live and ready to rock and roll for our fans and for our drivers out there that want to try and jump into a Daytona race and potentially make a little bit of coin. Going to be payouts for the top 10, t-shirts handed out. We're doing a big old check. We might be doing a championship belt. Lots of cool stuff kicking off on that. We are, in fact, looking for sponsors and advertising partners for that race, and it's a big race weekend, that November 20th weekend. The night before the TCM 300 and the night after, Brian Mackin from the Sim 500 Racing Group going to be putting on a little bit of a special event that Monday night, and Neps is that weekend as well. So almost 1,000 miles of racing coverage here on Mackin TV the weekend of November 20th. Be sure to check out all the social media outlets to check out that information. But green flag in the air, one more again. Bobby up in the grandstand, giving it his all, letting everybody know that we are under green flag conditions once again, and a little three-wide action. Temporarily, it looked like they're about 3 rows back between the 48, the 34, and the number 7 car. But up front, going to be Wade Palmer, the 5th, holding on to it for the Hendrick Motorsports stable. Ed Boyles Jr., the current points leader, right in behind him. Preston Freer, Chris Spear, and Dave Douthwaite currently the top 5. And there you can see Ed Boyles Jr. all over the back bumper of his teammate. Get Better Matt on the back bumper there of that number 24 car, letting their teammate know that they are in his thoughts. And there you can see another Hendrick Motorsports car wants to get up there and lead this race, give that lap to the 5 car of Ed Boyles Jr. He's going to take the lead up on the high side. Dave Douthwaite, check that. Preston Freer coming in on the bottom side there, 38 car. He's bringing Chris Spear in the number 7 as well. And Tim Ingram in the 62 car. I haven't talked about him too much this evening. Oh, contact, 48. Michael Miller makes contact and sends themselves down into a tizzy down on the bottom side of the racetrack. And that's going to bring out caution flag at number 2. And it looks like both drivers are, in fact, able to pull away. So the good news is there. But unfortunately, it looks like these drivers are going to have to back up towards the back of the pack here. And we'll take a peek here at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, find out exactly what happened to the 48 and the 34 car. And man, oh man, when you've got a great big racetrack here like Michigan, there's a lot of different racing lines, and a lot of times those racing lines kind of blend in together, and that's exactly what we saw here. The 48 car coming off the corner, losing the back end of the race car, comes across the nose, big contact there from the 34, and big contact with the inside safer barrier there on the backstretch for both the 48 and the 34. It looks like they are able to pull away without any kind of motor damage, but we'll definitely have to take a peek at that as the race progresses here. Michael Miller involved in an incident here as well as David Douthwaite, and we'll see exactly what those cars do here. But a tough break. That's going to have to at least start them in the very back of the field here, and it's still going to be the Hendrick Motorsports number 5 that is out front. Ed Boyles Jr. holding on to the lead here in the Matt Mackin 150 to get well soon. Matt Mackin 150. Got to give a shout out to our boy in the 9 car. Unfortunately, not here tonight. Some health issues, but want to let you know, Matt, that we're thinking of you, and we hope you get better real soon. But here at Michigan, here for the Lugz Cup Series, getting ourselves lined up for a championship battle. And these guys always entertain here on a Wednesday night. We do a little doubleheader action with the Tim's Corner Motorsports, Tim's Corner Live here earlier on, and sliding right into the Lugz Cup Series. A couple of drivers down on pit road. It appears that pretty much the second half of the field, the top, actually the second 2/3, it looks like, of the field down on pit road. The top 9 elect to stay out. Everybody else coming down pit road to, again, top off on fuel. So we may have a couple of drivers here this evening that are going to be trying to maybe make a fuel mileage race out of this if we end up staying green for the rest of the evening. But I want to take a look at the points here. Ed Boyles Jr., 207 points, is the leader. E. Kling, 3 points back in second. Tommy Kelly in third. Just Battles in fourth. Preston Freer in fifth. Tim Wortman in 6th, Kevin Ruff in 7th, Wade Bowen in 8th, Moffitt in 9th, and Smith in 10th. 46 points back. So these drivers racing towards the playoffs here just a couple of weeks' time. Going to reset all the points and find out who is going to be crowned here the second season champion. And you can't get to the championship without first getting through Michigan here. 150 miles on the docket, 75 laps here at the 2-mile oval. And you can see Ed Boyles Jr. out front, Preston Perrier in the number 38 car. He is going to restart. Second, third is going to go to Wade Palmer, the fourth. Fifth, check that, Tim Ingram is running fourth. And Chris Spear in the 7 car, he's going to be holding on to the 5th. Jamison Middlemiss, 6th. Joshua Nolan, 7th. Ken Eller, Keith Hume, Sr., and Joshua Battles rounding out the top 10. And you can see there the lights are off on the iRacing pace car. We're going to double them up. We're going to get ready to go racing once again here at Michigan International Speedway. And we want to take a look at that 1 car of Keith Hume Sr., new sponsor on that car in new colors. Usually used to seeing that driver in the kind of the black and yellow type South Point Casino ride, but new sponsor, new colors for the 1 car, and it's always great to have new sponsors here in the sim racing world. It's always good to support those that support us as well. And you can see that want to take a look, just get a little bit of love there to the sponsor of the number 1 car. You can see still has the sponsor of the South Point on there, but the Landshark logo very, very active there on the corner panel of the 1 car, and giving them a good run. The first race of their season, currently holding on to the 9th spot there on the inside in the 1 car. So great to have a new sponsor on board for Keith Hume Sr. Be sure to check those guys out on Facebook, on the internet, on YouTube, and we'll be sure to get all that good stuff linked up on the Verdane TV Facebook page. But lap 12 in the books, crossing the stripe to kick off lap number 13, and that's going to be a green flag for that 5 car of Ed Boyles Jr. He's got his teammate right behind him, Ed Boyles. Check that, Wade Palmer the 5th in the 24 car, right in behind him, and the single file lasts for about corner 1 and 2. You can already see Ed Boyles Jr. more comfortable up on the high side, and the 24 car appears to be comfortable down on the low side. We'll see how that sorts out coming into 3 and 4. But Chris Spear finding himself in the 3rd position. A little single file action for the time being. And then we're double file there for the 4th spot. 62 holding on to it. Tim Ingram in the MVB car. The My Veteran Passion group sponsoring last week's race here. And great to see those guys running good. The 23 of Ken Ellard up in the top 5 now. Preston Perrier dropping back just a little bit. But there you can see some action, almost 3 wide there for 4th place, and kind of scattered on throughout the field here. Everybody trying out different lines throughout the field, high, low, middle. All these drivers trying to figure out what's going to work for them, what's going to work for their race car, and where is everybody else not racing. A lot of times here at Michigan in these great big tracks, the 1.5 to 2 mile tracks, you have to find what line's going to work where everybody else is not. And you can see Preston Perrier thinks about dipping down on that apron in the 38 car, but thinks better of it. He's going to hold on to the low line there, right above that apron there on the white line, and try and get himself back into the top 5. You can see barely a little side-by-side action with he and Ken Ellert there in the 23 DoorDash ride, trying to see who's going to best the better one another, but still side-by-side. They're going to dip back just a little bit in the 38 car. He's going to drop back to 6th, and the 1 car, Keith Hume Sr., going to jump in to the 6th position. You can see he's shooting on up towards the high side, trying to follow Chris Spear, it looks like, in that 7 car. High, wide, and handsome all the way up to that outside safe barrier to see if they can make just a little bit of the magic happen up there on the high side. And that appears to be where the fast line's going to be. We're going to have to keep an eye on that all race long here to see what switches or as how it goes down as the race goes on, as these drivers start to wear off the right rear tire. We've had a couple of drivers come down pit road to get tires, to get fuel already. But at this point in the race, 16 laps in, 75 on the docket, picking them up, putting them down, a little 3 wide action for your health here. There you can see the 38 car up on the high side, 62 in the middle, 23 down low. And the 00 Tim Wortman Jr., last season's regular series champion in that 00 car, trying to get racy, trying to get up towards the front. You can see he tries to split the difference there between the 62 and the 23. But things better rub it. He's going to hold on to the high side. How about Wayne Bowen? After getting into that incident there, looks like they got a lot of the damage fixed on that number 11 car. He's racing his way up into the top 10, currently holding on to that 10th spot. He's got Alonzo King right behind him in the 47 car. Exciting racing all the way around the racetrack here as we work a lap number 17 here in the Mackin 150 here at Michigan International Speedway. A lot of action all the way across the stripe. You can see the onboard action. Ben Williams Jr. has got a lot of clean air right in front of him. He's got plenty of racetrack. Doesn't have to worry about lap traffic too early on here yet. And we can already see we're getting into almost a long green flag run feel, and that's going to play into factor here with the fuel mileage. We did have some drivers hop off here under caution the past couple of times. There's probably 5 or 6 drivers in the field that have not stayed out, or that have stayed out. Easy enough for me to say, that have stayed out under caution the past couple of times that in fact has come out. So that's going to be interesting to see what these drivers do as the laps kind of wind into this long green flag run. 19 laps now on the board, working lap number 19, already getting close to a quarter distance here in the race. As a matter of fact, we're past quarter distance here. 75 laps on the docket here at the Michigan 150 in honor of Matt Mackin. Got to give a shout out to Matt watching from home. Just had some major surgery. We hope you get well very, very soon. And you can see you got a couple of teammates up there in the top 5. There you see Ed Boyles Jr. holding on to it. He's not the points leader for no reason. He's holding on to a lead by about 3, 4, maybe 5 car lengths over his teammate, the Hendrick Motorsports number 24 of Wade Palmer V. And you can see little bit loose coming out of the turn number 2 that time. Looses the back end just a little bit, but that slides Keith Hume Sr. into the 3rd spot. And you can take a peek all over the back bumper now of that Hendrick Motorsports number 24. He's going to peek down low. He was going to try and get on down there, but there you can see the 7 of Chris Spear all the way down there. The 1 up into the wall. Can't get off that wall glue. Stuck into it. You can see the field kind of fanning down below to give Keith Hume all the room that he needs to get off that wall nice and cleanly. It looks like no harm, no foul, but that's going to slide that 1 car all the way back to that 7th position. Tim Ingram gets by, Ken Eller gets by, Tim Portman Jr. gets on by. Chris Spears still holding on to that 7th position. Riding on board now with Keith Hume Sr. He's got the 47 of Alonzo King taking a peek down on the bottom side, but a little bit of damage there on the front of the 47 car. Starts to slow the forward progression, unfortunately, of that ride. You can see that 1 car still not afraid of that outside safer barrier, running up on the high side like that's like it's the last lap. And there you can see Ed Boyles Jr. crossing the stripe to lead lap number 21, and he still has that 24 of his teammate Wade Palmer the 5th, holding on to 2nd. 23 of Ken Eller going all the way up on the high side there. A little side-by-side action for 4th. And you can see riding on board with Wade Palmer the 5th. That's what he wants to see, his teammate out in front of him and get a little bit of draft off him just a little bit to try and make the magic happen. But he's still got a mirror full in that 24 off the number 7 of Chris Spear. And he is all the way up by that wall running the quote-unquote Kyle Larson line up on the high side there in the 7 for Chris Spear, making it happen and trying to get a little forward momentum. But you can see Ken Ellert has different plans in the number 23 car. He's going to slide in down on the bottom side, get around and set his sights now on the P2 spot there from 24, and he's making that car stick down on the bottom side for the number 23 DoorDash car. He gets right up alongside the number 24 of Wade Palmer the 5th, backs up just a little bit, but it looks like he's going to have himself a bit of a run here going into the turns 3 and 4. Riding on board once again here with Wade Palmer the 5th. You see that 23 car makes it look easy, slides on board. Oh no, the 1 car around Keith Hume Sr. pointing in the wrong direction down in the grass. That's going to bring out the caution flag once again at the 1/3 mark here on lap number 24. So we'll pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay and find out exactly what went down with those drivers. That's an unfortunate event there. New sponsor for the number 1 car here tonight, running up in the top 5, top 10 as well. But we'll pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, find out exactly what went down. We're going to focus in on that number 1 car. Blue car down to the bottom side, about the middle through, and then you can see just about 3 wide here for the second half of the top 10. Slides on up, and unfortunately, that's where Middle Miss was, and he gets in contact as well with the 96 car. And they make themselves a little bit of a grass, a little bit of off-roading there for Tyler Smith in the 96, the 1 car of Keith Hume Sr. The good news is, though, it doesn't look like it was too big of a hit, just kind of sliding the tires through the grass. But I can definitely bet these drivers will, in fact, be down on pit road to get some tires and maybe bang out some of that virtual sheet metal here. And it's also going to bring the leaders down on pit road as well. You can see just about everybody on the lead lap down on pit road. So this is going to be interesting because we're going to see a lot of these guys come down, get 4 tires and fuel, but a lot of these drivers have already topped off their fuel tanks here under caution, so they may not have to be on pit road for just as long. They might see a couple of 2-tire stops, may very well see gas only, but we'll take a peek here. Left side's up, right side's up for everybody up in front. Ed Boyles Jr. going to slam his foot down on the throttle. He's going to win the race off the pit road. And you can see Ken Eller, Wade Palmer the 5th, Tim Wortman Jr. and Chris Spear, the first drivers off of pit road. One driver actually electing to stay out. It's going to be the 52 of Drew Moffitt. Came down pit road, topped off 14 laps ago. And it looks like he's going to stay out, and he's going to lead a couple of laps there in the RBR Aviation number 52 Mustang. We'll see if he comes down pit road, though. It looks like he may have a little bit of damage there on the right front tire. Or right around the right front tires. Stick it out just a little bit. We'll get a good shot here with the outer cameras here. Might just be staying out to lead a lap. Might think about potentially staying out and leading this race under green flag conditions. We'll see how that works out. And there you can see Ed Boyles Jr., the first car off pit road with 4 fresh tires. And again, we made mention Ken Eller, Wade Palmer the 5th, Tim Wortman Jr., and Chris Spear, the first 5 drivers off the pit road. Eric Kling, Jimmy Absher, Guy Bonifield, Jamison Middle Miss, and Pete Woodrum making it out in the top 10. So we'll see what the 52 car does here as they cross through. He is, in fact, going to stay out, crosses a stripe, leads himself a lap. He's going to pick the outside. We're restarting, no tires. 15 laps since he's been down on pit road. And you can see the 48 car dropping back to the end of the field here. So unfortunately not able to get any of his laps back. This caution for the 48 of Michael Miller, currently trapped in at the 26 spot, 7 laps down due to an early race incident. But we're going to stack them up 2 by 2 all the way throughout the field. And there you see it. Drew Moffitt in the 52 car going to lead the outside line. Ed Boyles Jr. with 4 fresh tires. Down on the bottom, Wade Palmer the 5th, Ken Eller, and Tim Wortman Jr. going to be restarting in the top 5. Chris Spear up in there as well, going to be on the outside of row number 3. It's going to be getting the restart here in lap number 27. 75 laps here on the board for the Michigan 150, the Matt Mackin 150 here at Michigan. And you can see there, good luck, Matt, on the back of the number 5 car. Thinking of you, buddy. We know you're at home watching here. Definitely want to be, as a racer, you always want to be in the race, but sometimes the health comes first, and that's one of the major things we got to take care of. So we hope we can at least entertain you here, and we always try to entertain the masses here on Verdane TV. Drew Moffitt going to elect to take the outside here on the restart. Crossing the line here on lap number 27. Green flag is in fact out, and Ed Boyles Jr. going to try and make the magic happen there on the bottom side. The 52 gambling just a little bit. Drew Moffitt electing to stay out. Everybody else came down pit road, and you can see that bottom side making it stick with those tires. And you can see Moffitt kind of moves up to the extreme outside line. Says, you know what, that might not have been the best idea. He's already going to drop about 10 positions, currently scored in the 10th spot here after turns 1 and 2. Middle Miss gets by the 37 of Ian Yeager. He gets on by. So definitely not the call of the night there for the 52 of Drew Moffitt. He's going to drop like a rock, so hopefully he can hold on and bank for a caution here in the next couple of laps. But as we cross the stripe to start lap number 28, Ed Boyles Jr. still holding on to the lead, or back as it were. Ken Ellert now in second, Eric Kling in third, Wade Palmer the fifth, Tim Wortman Jr. the top five, Chris Spear, Jimmy Absher, Guy Bonifield, Pete Woodrum, Ian Yeager in the top 10. And it's one of those deals where these drivers came out, they had fresh tires, they wanted to make the magic happen, and it's an unfortunate thing. We're trying to take a peek here where the 52 dropped off to, and he's dropped quite a bit, all the way back down to the 17th position after not coming down to get tires. So that's one of those things that a lot of these drivers, if not all of these drivers from crew chiefs and spotters, are getting together and saying, okay, so the rule of the thing is always come down and take tires, the rule of the race, that is. And you can see staying out doesn't quite pay off, but it was good to get at least a couple of laps led here at Michigan. Working lap number 29 and picking them up, putting them down rather quickly here at Michigan. Really excited to have these guys here, the Lugz Cup Series. Check them out on Facebook, check them out on the web, and getting closer and closer to the playoffs here for these drivers. Moving on to Bristol next week, a couple of road courses up in the mix, and then we get on through to see who we're going to crown a champion here in the late coming weeks of the month of January. And lots of action coming up here on Verdane TV as well, so you do not want to miss it. And we've got lots of big shows coming up. October is absolutely jam-packed. The Pennsylvania iRacing Group coming back. They're going to be back next Tuesday, October 5th, kicking things off at Daytona. We've got the Bottle Rocket 350 Saturday, November 20th. We've got the TCM 300. The day before that, Brian Mackin putting on a special event. The Monday after that, we're looking at 1,000 miles of coverage the week before Thanksgiving here in the States, here on Verdane TV, and we're really looking forward to it. Lots of sponsorship and advertising spots available. If it's something that kind of suits your fancy, definitely shoot us a message on Facebook, on Twitch, all the social media outlets, Twitter, all that good stuff as well. But taking a look here at the action, Ed Boyles Jr. holding on to it. Got a 3-4 car length lead over the 23 car of Ken Ellert, who's going to try and peak down low while the tires are good, while the tires still have grip in them. All the way down on the bottom side, going to hold on to the white line and try and at least get up to the quarter panel. Might have himself a run heading into 1 and 2. And you can see he pulls out just a little bit. But this is where we're going to see, slide job, and it actually knocks the 5 car loose. Going to lose a lot of track position here. He's going to drop back 3-4 spots. And there you can see kind of tucks in right beside his teammate. But the 23 car, Ken Ellert, executing a perfect slide job to get himself the lead. That's going to bring Eric Kling in the 51 car up there as well. Wade Palmer drops on back to third. He's got his teammate in fourth with Ed Boyles Jr. and Tim Wortman Jr. in the top 5. And there you can see the 51 car speeding down pit road, looking away real quick. We'll have to take just a quick repeat of that. And we can see the 51 car. I just want to take a quick look at this while we're live. Coming out of turn 4, the 51 car. The 23 gets himself loose. The 23 gets into the 51 car, knocks him in down pit road. We stay green. That is a tough break for Eric Kling. Going to get that penalty waived, it looks like, when he's going to be dropping all the way back to the 16th spot. And the 23 car of Ken Ellert, there you see looking out in front of that loader. That is a big mishap for the current, for the previous leader. 1 lap ago, he's going to drop all the way back to the 11th position. That's going to hand the lead back over to Ed Boyles Jr. And there you can see the Hendrick Motorsports 1-2 combo racing a little missing man action. Matt Mackin watching at home here for the race. They want to win it for their teammate and have themselves a little bit of a celebration there. But down the backstretch, there you can see the 5 and the 24 kind of working together just a little bit, working the draft as it were. It's a 2-mile racetrack, not quite a super speedway here at Michigan, but you're still able to utilize the draft as much as you possibly can. You can see Chris Spear holding onto the back bumper of that number 24 car. The 33 is up in there as well. Guy Bonifield side by side with Tim Wortman Jr. in that 00 car. Jimmy Absher in the 18. Haven't talked about him all night long. He's holding on to 6, and he's right up there with this lead group. And then it's a little bit on further back. Alonzo King has himself the 47 car in the 7th spot. He's got a little bit of room behind him to Wade Bowen. And that 23 car, a couple of Joe Gibbs Racing teammates side by side. Now for the 8th position, Tyler Smith in there as well. Pete Woodrum in the number 4 up in this mix. There you see the 16 of Jameson Middlemiss, Ian Yeager, Bobby Justice all up in this pack. And a little bit further on back, Keith Hume Sr., who's running up towards the front, is trying to kind of claw his way up towards the front, getting there piece by piece. And there you can see he's holding on to the 14th position. Bobby Justice in the number 2 car right in next to him. Joshua Nolan, the 99 back in 16th. Preston Purrier running up front earlier on in the 38 car. Back here in the 17th spot, Joshua battles Eric Kling, Ryan Kling back here as well. The 51 car dropping all the way towards the back after that little bit of an incident up in the front. Tim Ingram in the 62. We saw him earlier on. He's back here in the 21st spot battling with Derek Cook. David Douthwaite, the final car, one lap or on the lead lap in the number 34 car. Of the 28 starters, Drew Moffitt 1 lap down, Sean Rhodes 2 laps down, Michael Miller in the 48 is 7 laps down, Trevor Absher, Kevin Capola down on pit road trying to get some repairs done to their machines. But there you can see still out front, Ed Boyles Jr. in that number 5 Hendrick Motorsports ride. Got his teammate right in behind him with a 24 car of Wade Baum in the 5th. But don't look now, Jimmy Absher in the 18 M&M's Camry is moving up to the 3rd spot, and he smells blood in the water. He wants to try and move in to those top 2 spots. He's got Tim Wortman Jr. dipping on down low, trying to get on his bottom side. There you see Chris Spear up on the high side trying to make the magic happen. And Guy Bonifield in the 33 car has a front row seat for all of the action. The top 6 cars have broken away just a bit here at Michigan. Caution flag flies once again here. Looks like we might have some potential issues with the 23 of Ken Eller. We're going to pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay and find out exactly what went down with that number 23 DoorDash car and multi-car incident. It looks like coming out of turn number 3 and 4, turns number 3 and 4 rather. And we'll pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay for you. We're going to take a peek at it and keep an eye on that 23 car. There you can see up on the top, a 3 wide 96 and the 4 car of Woodrum make contact, send the 96 car up and flying. The 23 car spinning like a top, and that is a tough break for these drivers. Tyler Smith, Pete Woodrum, and Ken Eller involved in a major incident here at Michigan coming out of turn number 4. Take a peek at it again. This time we're going to follow along with the 96 car. There you see him, the white and black or the white and red car running that middle groove there, tries to come down, and unfortunately the 4 car is there and sends him up into the air, bounces, tumbles, black smoke coming out from underneath the motor. Sticks to landing though, extra bonus points for that. But not going to be able to finish this race under his own power, it doesn't look like. So that is a tough break for some of these drivers here. And as a Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and it gives us an opportunity to swing on over to pit road where we've got everybody coming down once again to take advantage of the caution flag here on lap number 40. Well, a couple of laps here past halfway at this point. And we'll take a look here. It seems like everybody, in fact, did come down pit road, but we do have a couple of 2-tire stops. Up in front, Joe Gibbs Racing, Wayne Bowen, and Jimmy Absher going to restart 1 and 2, and that's a great rebound for Wayne Bowen getting involved in an earlier incident here at Michigan. But 2 tires for 2 of those guys. Jameson Middlemiss in the 4th position. He takes 2 tires. David Douthwaite trying to make up some spots in the 12th position, taking 2 tires. Everybody else taking 4, and Ed Boyles Jr., the first car in line that's going to have those 4 fresh Goodyear tires. He's going to be restarting down low on the 2nd row, So he's got a little bit of an opportunity to try and press the issue just a little bit. There you see Pete Woodrum in the number 4 car staying out to try and get himself a wave around and get himself back on the lead lap. Right now he's on the tail end of the lead lap. Wayne Bowen in the 11 car is going to be your leader. Jimmy Absher second. Ed Boyles Jr., the first car with 4 fresh tires. He's going to be third. Jamison Middlemiss with 2 tires in the 16 car. Going to be restarting in 4th. Guy Bonifield in the 33 restarts 5th. He's got 4 fresh tires. Everybody else restarting here with 4 fresh tires. Wade Palmer the 5th. Chris Spear, Alonzo King, Tim Boardman Jr., and Ian Yeager at the top 10. Preston Perrier, David Douthwaite, Bobby Justice, Ryan Kling, Joshua Battles, Derek Cook, Joshua Nolan, Eric Kling, Tim Ingram, Keith Hume Sr., Ken Ellert, Drew Moffitt, Pete Woodrum, and check that. Pete Woodrum, the first car, 1 lap down. Drew Moffitt in the 52 car is going to be the last car on the lead lap. And just as we started under caution, or just as we got that caution kind of kicked off, we came down pit road and a quickie yellow here at Michigan with the Lugz Cup Series. The lights are off in the iRacing pace car, lined up 2 by 2 all the way through, getting ready to go racing once again. And speaking of getting ready to go racing, be sure to check out all of Vidane TV's social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, all that good stuff. Lots of stuff coming up here in the month of October, kicking off here in the next couple of days, with being highlighted the return of the New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Shift Marketing and Design Grand National Series, kicking off next Tuesday at Daytona, October 5th. Going to be great to see those guys back in action, and we're back in action here at Michigan as the iRacing pace car takes that hard left-hand turn down pit road. He's going to get himself a ice-cold Coke and a corn dog. Green flag flies. Once again, a pair of JGR cars up in the front. Wayne Bowen and the 11 electing the bottom side. The 18 of Jimmy Absher holding on to that high side, but Ed Boyles Jr. wants that lead back, and he's going to put those 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods to use. You can see he already slides into the second position, tries to peek in the outside, nothing there. Jumps down to the bottom side. Door handle to door handle now with the leader, Wayne Bowen, in the 11 car. And you can see right away, even after just a handful of laps, those 4 tires much, much quicker. Oh, contact with the 18 up in the 7. Big time contact up into the wall. Green flag still stays out. The 18 still trying to get out of that wall glue. And you can see the 18 big time off the pace there for Jimmy Absher. Unfortunate events, gets up into the 7 of Chris Spear, and that's going to knock Chris Spear all the way back to the 18th position. There you can see the damage to the back of that baby blue and white number 7 car. Lots of damage to the front of that car as well, but we are in fact still green flag racing, and that is exactly what Ed Boyles Jr. wants to see in that number 5 car. The points leader up front by about 7 or 8 car lengths over the new second place driver, Alonzo King. Guy Bonifield in 3rd, Tim Wortman Jr. in 4th, and Wade Palm the 5th slips on back to the 5th position. So a little bit of a shakeup here in our top 5, working lap number 43. Picking these laps up and putting them down rather quickly here at Michigan. 150 miles on the docket, 75 laps here at the 2-mile oval. And there you can see from that speed shot exactly how much of a lead Ed Boyles Jr. has on second place driver Alonzo King, but he has himself a mirror full of the regular series champion from last season, Tim Wortman Jr. in that 00 car. And you can see he gets a little bit of a run, tries to take that high sign, make it work. Doesn't quite work that lap, so he goes back to school, goes back to study, and sees where that 47 car is faster, where he's slower. And you can see coming into turn 1 and 2, that 00 gets a magnificent run. He's going to take it all the way down to the bottom side, down to that yellow line to see if he can get up and get around, maybe get a little slide job action. Whoa, speaking of sliding, how about that save for the 33? Still holding on to it for Guy Bonifield in the number 33 car. Going to lose a position or 2. There you see the 41 car of Joshua Battles getting on by. That's going to break him into the top 5 for the first time here this evening. But a big wiggle and a big save for that 33 driver of Guy Bonifield. How about that? You can see that kind of opens up the door just a little bit. Bobby Justice started the race on pit road in that number 2 car. He's got himself up to 7th. Joshua Nolan, there you see him, the 99 car, kind of running by himself right now in the 8th position. Ian Yeager and Ryan Kling currently holding on to the top 10. A little bit of contact there it looked like, for Alonzo King in the 47, getting a little bit of contact with the outside wall. And you can see it slowed him down just a little bit, actually slowed him down quite a bit. The 41 of Josh Battles is going to go by. Here's Guy Bonifield in a 33. He's going to get on by. And you can see the 2 car now closing it back in. Bobby Justice wants to capitalize on that position as well. So a tough break for Alonzo King, getting up in that outside safer barrier, making a little bit of damage to that number 47 by veteran Passion Ride. And that's unfortunate, because that's one of those deals that you really have to get down pit road to maybe fix some of that virtual sheet metal damage that could potentially be affecting how that car drives. But that's not something we're going to do under green flag positions, green flag conditions rather, as it were. And so he's going to hold on the best he can to that 5th spot, but he's got a slew of drivers in behind him that want to capitalize on that little bit of mishap. But speaking of drivers capitalizing, how about that number 5, Ed Boyles Jr., Hendrick Motorsports, holding on to the lead. Tim Wortman Jr. slides up into the 2nd spot. Wade Palmer the 5th, Joshua Battles, and Alonzo King holding on to the top 5. Looks like Jimmy Asher going to dip down pit road. He may very well be done for the evening after the issues and the damage on that number 18 car. Getting the M&Ms all over the racetrack, unfortunately, there for the Joe Gibbs Racing number 18. But still, Hendrick Motorsports up front. There you can see 2 of the 3 spots up on the podium, holding on to the Hendrick Motorsports stable. Ed Boyles Jr. showing again why he's the points leader. Very consistent all throughout the season here. A couple of wins as well for the number 5 Valvoline Ride. And Tim Wortman Jr. trying to get up there and spoil that party. Ooh, kisses the outside wall just a little bit, just enough to give the momentum to Wade Palmer the 5th in that number 24 car. Gets down and around the 00, and it doesn't look like there's too much damage on that 00 car, but that's absolutely going to affect Wortman's psyche. It's one of those deals. I made a mistake. I need to not make mistakes. I need to get up to the lead. I need to get around the 2nd place driver. Doesn't have too much pressure here from the back. The top 3 cars pulling away just a little bit. But Alonzo King holding on to the 4th place position. And there you can see Bobby Justice, Joshua Battles, these drivers back in here. Ian Yeager, Guy Bonifield, all back in here trying to battle themselves into the top 5. 2/3 of the distance already in the books here at Michigan. Lap number 50, 25 laps to go here. Top 3 have kind of pulled away just a little bit, but 5th on back is absolutely a hornet's nest. And you can see all these drivers trying to find which line's going to work best for them, what's going to get them closer and closer to the front. And there you can see these guys making the magic happen here, as only the Loose Lugz Cup Series can here on Wednesday nights here on Verdane TV. Working lap number 52 of 75. Ed Boyles Jr. waiting on the 4th. The Hendrick Motorsports duo still up in front in the top 2 positions. Taking a peek for the race for about 4th place on back. Alonzo King holding on to it on the extreme high side there for the 47 car. Bobby Justice in the number 2 car. There in the 5th position, Guy Bonifield, Ryan Kling, Eric Kling, Tim Ingram, Joshua Battles, and Ian Yeager, all a part of this battle as these drivers trying to get themselves a little bit closer to the front, trying to hold on to the top 5 or top 10, as it were, trying to get themselves into the top 5, trying to chase down or get an opportunity at the very least to chase down the Hendrick Motorsports teammates up front, Ed Boyles Jr. And Tim Wortman Jr. gets on by the 2nd place driver, Wade Palmer the 5th, to move himself into P2. And he is now all over the back bumper of Ed Boyles Jr. Tim Wortman Jr. again last season's regular series champion there in the double hot car. All over the back bumper, but caution flag going to fly here at Michigan, and we'll take a peek to see if we can find out exactly what it was that went down to bring out the Cog Beer Bong instant replay. Going through the tapes here, not quite seeing what it was that brought out the replay, or what it was that brought out the caution here. Not seeing anybody pointed in the wrong direction, so I'm not entirely sure what the issue was. But in any sense, it's going to give these drivers one more opportunity to potentially come down pit road, and you can see that as the pace car picks up the field, it's going to be Ed Boyles Jr., Tim Wortman Jr., Wade Palmer V, Alonzo King, and Guy Bonifield. Currently the top 5, Eric Kling, Bobby Justice, Ryan Kling, Tim Ingram, and Joshua Nolan, the top 10. And this is another opportunity. It's been a little bit since we've been down pit road, 15 laps or so. So I think we'll see a little bit of split, not split personality, but potentially a split strategy here. Some of these drivers electing potentially to come down pit road, top off with fuel, maybe get 4 fresh Goodyear tires. And some of these drivers electing to take the track position. There you can see Ed Boyles Jr. He is going to come down pit road. He's going to bring everybody down here with him. And we'll see exactly what goes down. A couple of drivers, that's Ken Ellert in the 23 car. He's actually going to stay out. But he is a lap or two down there in the 23 car. 1 lap down. First car, 1 lap down, as a matter of fact. And it looks like, in fact, everybody is going to come down pit road here to get some service, with the last little bit of a stretch here staying out. And you can see everybody down. Right sides are up on most of these race cars. And you can see definitely going to take at least 2 tires. Already drivers pulling away here, so some strategy playing into the mix here. And once these drivers cross the start-finish line, you'll be able to see exactly where everybody stacks up. And it looks like Ed Boyles Jr., in fact, going to make that 4-tire stop, and he's going to be the first one off pit road here with less than 25 laps to go. And that right there is a big-time strategy move, because now you know you can make it on fuel, you can make it on tires. All you need to do is concentrate on hitting your marks like you've been doing all race long and try and hold on to that lead. And he's still got his Hendrick Motorsports teammate Wade Palmer V holding on to that 3rd position. So going to be very, very exciting here. The final 25 laps of this one here, 150 miles, 75 laps here at Michigan. And we're going to bring you the action as we come a little bit closer to the race. But before we get there, going to take ourselves a quick little break. Going to come pay some bills, and we'll be back to finish off this race here, the Mackin 150, live at Michigan International Speedway.
Have you seen my kick-ass subscription box anywhere? Oh, there it is.
Back here live at Michigan for the Mackin 150. And there you can see riding on board with Hendrick Motorsports driver Ed Boyles Jr., current points standings leader in that number 5 car. He's going to choose that bottom side. Alonzo King going to take the high side there. In the number 47 car, Hendrick Motorsports bringing us the 3rd place driver as well. Wade Palmer the 5th, holding on to it. Tim Wortman Jr., Guy Bonifield rounding out the top 5. Bobby Justice in the number 2 car, going to be starting the outside of row number 3. Green flag in the air once again. And already you can see those Hendrick Motorsports teammates kind of adjusting their lines just a little bit to try and make sure that they work together to try and come home from Michigan with that victory. And you can see Wade Palmer chucking right into the back bumper of that 5 car, who's pulling away just a little bit. You can see Guy Bonifield slides himself in the 33 car up into that 3rd position. Alonzo King drops on back to 4th. That 99 of Joshua Nolan trying to hold on to the top 5, but Tim Wortman Jr. getting around him just barely. A little side-by-side door handle to door handle action. And this is the part of the race where you're really going to see a lot of different lines kick on up throughout the top 10 and throughout the rest of the field here. These drivers know they've got enough fuel to make it to the end. They've got good tires that are going to be able to take them all the way to the checkered flag. So you may very well use up your stuff. And you can see a little 3-wide action back there about mid-pack, trying to hold on to it. These top 5, 6 drivers holding on to the racetrack, trying to make a little magic happen. There you can see Matt Mackin on the quarter panel of the 00 car. Pretty cool little tribute there for Tim Wortman Jr. He's trying to make something happen, trying to close in on the Hendrick Motorsports duo of the 5 and the 24. And oh, by the way, Alonzo King up there in the top 3, trying to hold on to a podium finish here. It's crossing the stripe. 15 laps to go here at Michigan, and you can see everybody kind of spread out, as it were, throughout the field. Lots of different lines. This is where you need to make sure that your homework pays off. What you've been doing for the past 60 laps, studying the guy in front of you, where he's quicker, where he's slower, where you could potentially get around him on the high side or on the low side, trying to make the magic happen as it is for Ed Boyles Jr., a master of the magic. You can see him looking out the windshield of that number 5 car. He has got an entire racetrack all to himself. Doesn't have to worry about any kind of lap traffic to speak of, and he's got his teammate right in behind him with the number 24 of Wade Palmer the 5th. Guy Bonifield, Alonzo King, and Tim Wortman Jr. rounding out the top 5. You can see those top 5 drivers pulling away from the pack just a little bit. The 11th car of Wayne Bowen, earlier race incident, holding on to the 6th position. Eric Lane, Jameson Middlemas, Joshua Nolan, and Derek Cook holding on to the top 10, and it's great to see just how racy these guys are. A little side-by-side action there for 4th. Give that position to the 00 of Tim Wortman Jr. Going to drop Guy Bonifield back to the 5th spot. He's got a little bit of a cushion now behind him to Wade Bowen and the 11 car, the Air Jordan number 11 Camry there. And you can see the 51, Eric Kling, up in the mix. Jameson Middlemas in the 16, We Be Racing. Shout out to all the 16 fans out there watching on Facebook and YouTube. One of the cool things about these drivers here on Wednesday nights in the Loose Lugz Cup Series, a lot of these drivers will actually have the broadcast open on their cell phones and the tablets right next to them, and they're able to kind of chat with us just a little bit throughout the cautions or some of the lulls in the action. No lulls here tonight at Michigan, but a couple of cautions. We're always able to kind of hear from the drivers, and very, very cool thing that they've got hooked up. And Wade Palmer in the YouTube chat, get her done, son. So pretty cool to see. You know, a lot of drivers interacting with their friends and family as they race here live on Verdane TV. And we're going to be able to talk to the top 3 drivers here in the post-race show. But still got a few laps of racing action to get that done. 12 laps to be exact. Ed Boyles Jr. still out front. Little side-by-side action. How about that for 2nd? Alonzo King down on the bottom side. Ooh, slides back into that 3rd spot right in behind Wade Palmer the 5th. Holding on to it. You could probably hold up a piece of paper between the front and rear bumper of those 2 cars as they passed on through. And there you can see a couple of different lines being utilized here in the top 8 cars. Jameson Middlemas holding on to this pack as well in the number 16 car, trying to make a little magic happen, trying to capitalize on some of the drivers up in the top 8, you can see there's no mistakes being made up here. Everything is fully calculated throughout this top 8 drivers. There's a nice wide shot, and you can see a couple of different lines all the way down to the bottom side. Wayne Bowman going to use the middle to try and make up a little bit of ground. The bottom side, shortest way around the racetrack, but not necessarily. Oh, the 11 car gets contact, and he comes all the way back up to the racetrack. Big hit on the nose of the 11 car. He's going to stop right there in the racing groove. Oh, that was a close call for that driver getting on by. That right there is a good opportunity to take a look at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And man, oh man, that is a tough break for the 11 of Wayne Bowen, running up in the top 5, trying to make the magic happen, trying to come home with a victory, and unfortunately, a little bit of late race contact ends the night. Take a peek here at the purple, white, and black car. A little bit of contact between he and Tim Wortman Jr. He comes back up across the nose of the 51 car, slides himself around. There you see, spins around, and you can see Bobby Justice in that number 2 car. Holy cannoli. Bobby Justice getting by there. When we've got a race, or when we've got an incident that close, we've got to take a peek at the in-car here, and we'll see if we can pull that up here on the Verdane TV Kong Beer Bong instant replay. Hey, you can see a pit stop, a little pit stop action there for the number 2 car. They may very well be changing his shorts after that one. That was a very close incident with these drivers, and man, oh man, there you can see the 11 car around, and we'll take a look here at Bobby Justice's in-car camera as we came around here, and man, oh man, this was close. There you see it. A little bit of contact between the 2 and the 11. You heard it as he drove on by. But man, oh man, that is a tough break. That's going to be a big repair here. But looks like everybody up in the top 10 or so staying out. A couple of drivers coming down pit road to get a little bit of service to their race cars to try and get themselves a little bit of an advantage here at Michigan International Speedway. And man, oh man, is the advantage something that you want to hold on to here at Michigan, especially when you're racing here with teammates in mind. There you can see a driver going around to get that free pass car up and around, and we'll see if we can maybe catch a brief word here with our current leader, Hendrick Motorsports driver Ed Boyles Jr. Strong car all night long. Less than 10 laps to go. Ed, Paul up in the booth. You get a copy, brother?
Yeah, I got you, Paul.
Man, that 5 car is looking bad fast. At 24, Wade Palmer the 5th, your teammate, right in, been running 2nd and 3rd all night long. Looking like you got a strong car. You got the car to beat here at Michigan.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this number 5 car has been bad fast tonight, especially with the 24 toting him along. We're just trying to use that drafting strategy to keep us up front and get a W here for Matt and get us a win, get into the playoffs.
Absolutely, man, and making it look easy here tonight. And Hendrick Motorsports running 1, 2, and 1 and 3 throughout the night. Always kind of cool to give the nod over to the number 9 car, Matt Mackin, just getting a little bit of surgery done, but all appears to be well. Not able to make the race here tonight. Probably going to be off for a couple of weeks, but it's always cool to do good by the teammates for sure.
Yes, sir, it is. We wish him the best.
100%. But it looks like the iRacing pace car going to shut those strobe lights off. Going to give you the opportunity to go back to work. Less than 10 to go. What do you got for us? You going to be able to come home with a victory?
I'm going to try. It's one of us. Hendrick for the win.
100%. And that's the current leader holding on to it. Current points leader as well. Ed Boyles Jr. in the number 5 car. To get him back into the Hendrick Motorsports chat. And man, oh man, excitement getting ready to build. We're going to get a restart with 6 laps to go. Hendrick Motorsports owns that front row. Ed Boyles Jr. in the 5 car. Down on the bottom side, Wade Palmer the 5th. Up in the high side, Alonzo King, Guy Bonifield, Tim Wortman Jr. the top 5. Preston Perrier, Joshua Nolan, Derek Cook, Drew Moffitt, good recovery in the 52 car. He's up in the 9th position. And Ian Yeager in the 37 holding on to the 10th spot. 19 cars on the lead lap. Ken Ellert, David Douthwaite, Keith Hume Sr., Joshua Battles, Tim Ingram, Jamison Middlemas, Bobby Justice, Sean Rhodes, and Ryan Kling all the drivers on the lead lap. Wayne Palmer, the first driver, multiple laps down in the 20th spot, 3 laps down, and a couple of drivers still down there in the garage area trying to get the cars repaired to potentially come out for just a couple of positions here, because coming up on the playoffs, every single point counts, and you can bet that these drivers are going to try and get all that they can get here at Michigan before we get on into Bristol next week here on Wednesday night. But there goes the pace car. He's going to take that hard left-hand turn down the safety of pit road, getting ready to go green flag once again here at Michigan. And there you have it. Barney up in the flag stand, waving that green flag with all of his might. Ed Boyles Jr. down to the bottom side. Up on the high side is Hendrick Motorsports stablemate Wade Palmer the fifth. Both of those drivers racing for a victory. They want to dedicate to their teammate. Running a little missing man formation here tonight. Matt Mackin in the 9 Napa ride. Not in the field here tonight, but there you can see he's trying to make the best of it here tonight with Hendrick Motorsports. Ed Boyles up front. Wade Palmer the fifth in second. And Calamity in behind them. Alonzo King, Guy Bonifield, Tim Wortman Jr. all up in the mix. That's Preston Jr. in the 38 car. These drivers know they're coming across lap number 69. Now he's going to cross the stripe. Lap number 75 laps to go. And there is contact. Once again, driver spinning. It looks like the 42 car spinning out. That's going to be Sean Rhodes, who does, in fact, grab a gear and drive away. But that's going to be a big-time loss in the track position for the number 42 driver of Sean Rhodes. We're going to pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And if you haven't checked these guys out, you need to. Kong.2drunk.net. Be the life of the party and make the good times better with a Kong Beer Bong. And Badane TV always reminds you to drink responsibly. But we're going to take a peek here at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, focusing on that number 42 driver. Unfortunately, looks like has a little bit of damage from earlier incidents, little 3-wide action as it were up in the middle. And there you can see the 15 of Kling hits the outside wall, comes on down, bounces into the 42. 42 gets sideways, spinning like a top, and he gets into Bobby Justice there in the number 2 car as well. So tough break for that number 42, the 2 and the 15 car, but it looks like everybody is in fact able to drive away, and these drivers are going to keep on keeping on, as it were, for the final 5 laps of this race. And man, oh man, this is going to set us up for a little green-white checkered action here at Michigan, and this is the absolute way to do it. Ed Boyles Jr., Wade Palmer the fifth, up front. Hendrick Motorsports racing a little missing man formation here. Matt Mackin in the 9 car having a little bit of surgery done here this week, and going to be missing the next couple of races, but Hendrick Motorsports wanting to come home with a little dedication race win here at Michigan. The Matt Mackin 150, and those guys are running 1 and 2. Alonzo King not trying to spoil the party, but trying to get himself a victory, trying to lock himself into the playoffs. He is in 3rd. You can see he's warming those tires up. He is ready to rock and to roll here in the final couple of laps here at Michigan, and everybody starting to catch up to the field here. You can see the pace car still has the lights on, the iRacing pace car, so it gives these drivers just an opportunity to pull the belts tight, get themselves a quick little sip of Gatorade or water or whatever they're drinking inside the virtual cockpits, and it gives us one more opportunity to take a quick commercial break. But do not go anywhere, because we're going to be bringing you the checkered flag here in the Matt Mackin 150 at Michigan. A little green-white checkered action coming up here at Michigan International Speedway. Don't go anywhere. Be right back.
CTWE wrestler The Mac.
And I'm Showtime Stevie Stamos.
Have you ever dreamed of owning your own race car and taking it out for a test drive? Well, if they star friends that rent a race car, you can!
Visit www.rentaracecarne.com for all the details on how you can take one of these babies out to Stafford Motor Speedway. We'll see you at the races.
Touchdown!
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Lights are off on the iRacing pace car, lined up 2x2 all the way through, and it's been the story of the evening. Hendrick Motorsports up front, Ed Boyles Jr. holding on to the lead, holding on to the points lead as well, coming into the event here tonight. Wade Palmer the fifth into that second position. Alonzo King, Guy Bonifield, and Joshua Nolan restarting in fifth. Tim Wortman Jr., Preston Perrier, Keith Hume Sr., Derek Cook, and Drew Moffitt the top 10. Taking a quick peek at timing and scoring, looks like 19 drivers still on the lead lap. So realistically here with a green-white checkered at Michigan, 19 drivers can come home with the victory. But there goes the pace car. He's going down to the safety of pit road, potentially for the final time, as we take the green flag with green-white checkered implications in the air. And an even, dead even restart there for the front two teammates up in the front. And that's going to give us popsicle sticks. 2 laps to go here. The potential is big. There you see the Hendrick Motorsports teammate door handle to door handle as they come out of turn number 2. A little bit of wiggle for the 24 car. Guy Bonifield, rather, the 33 car. Going to try and take advantage of that, but it doesn't even seem to slow the 24 car down. He's got the momentum on the high side as they shoot on into turns 3 and 4. Fanning out in behind them. It's still the Hendrick Motorsports teammates 1 and 2. Who's going to be the quicker driver coming across the stripe? White flag, white rag. This race is official. And right now, give it to the number 24 car, Wade Palmer the fifth, holding on, but they're still side by side, holding on, battling for Ed Boyles Jr. Take a little bit of advantage. Middle miss up into the outside wall. The number 16 car, we stay green. Number 5, Ed Boyles Jr., he is able to finally clear his teammate in that number 24 car. The 24 car ducks right into his tire tracks, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get up and around and get into that lead. Ed Boyles Jr. comes out of turn 4. He's got a 3-4 car length lead over his teammate. Going to throw that checkered flag. Ed Boyles Jr. comes home with the victory. Wade Palmer the fifth, his teammate, in the second spot. And how about that? Crossing the line sideways, spinning like a top. Keith Hume Sr. with a brand new sponsor on that number 1 car. Going to come home with the podium. Tim Wortman Jr. in the 4th position. Joshua Nolan, Guy Bonifield, Drew Moffitt, Derek Cook, Tim Ingram, and David Douthwaite rounding out the top 10. And we'll give you the rundown as they cross the stripe there with the unofficial results at the top 10. And man, oh man, what a great race here at Michigan. Picking them up, putting them down relatively quickly here. 150 miles in the books just like that. You can see Ed Boyles Jr. going to come down to the front straight and burn them down. Definitely going to be dedicating this win to his teammate Matt Mackin for sure. You can see right on that Michigan International Speedway logo, going to burn it down and burn whatever's left of those rear tires up for that number 5 car. But how about that top 10? Ed Boyles Jr., Wade Palmer the fifth, Keith Hume Sr., Tim Wortman Jr., Joshua Nolan. Easy enough for me to say. Rounding out the top 5, Guy Bonifield, Drew Moffitt, Derek Cook, David Douthwaite, and Ryan Kling rounding out the top 10. And man, oh man, were we entertained here at Michigan International Speedway. And we're going to see if we can pull up that driver. Just spoke to him just a few laps ago. But here he is, man. That number 5 car still burning him down there on the start-finish line. Coming home with the victory, Ed Boyles Jr. Ed, talk to us about that dominating performance.
Oh boy, this car was just fantastic. My team, everyone tonight, Wade Palmer drafting with me. We got our satellite team of Keith Hume there working with us at the end of the race. Josh Nolan. Oh boy, what a night, especially with the race dedicated to Mr. Matt Mackin. Fantastic.
Picking them up and putting them down for sure. Coming into the race,
Oh,
did you
heck,
have
Rick.
any kind of strategy coming into it? Were you looking at long runs, short runs, anything like that, or just kind of playing it by the seat of your pants?
Well, we knew what the fuel run was, which was about 24 laps or so, and I felt like you had a car that was real good down low, and then towards the end of the run, you'd have to migrate to the top. And boy, just drafting with my teammate there just made a huge difference. It just working together to try and keep those front spots and maneuvering around on the restarts made a big difference.
100%. And here in Victory Lane, teammate coming on over, and satellite teammates coming over as well. Wade Palmer the fifth, and the 24 car finishing second. Man, did you have anything for Ed Boyles Jr.? Were you kind of waiting to see, maybe he'll make a mistake here, Wade, or how did your race look from the second finishing spot?
Thought I had something on that last restart, but he got that big run coming out of one. And at that point, I just laid off. I didn't want to ruin either of our races. But yeah, like Ed said, just working together with the teammate was the most beneficial thing we did. Being able to run together the whole race was huge.
100% made it look easy, making the Hendrick Motorsports sweep with the 1 and 2 spot, and Keith Hume Sr. finishing in third. A little satellite team action as well. But Ed, a great win here tonight. You definitely going to pad the points lead just a little bit, adding a win to it. Championship picture. You got anything for the big run here? We're going to be racing all the way through the end of January here. How does the championship feel in the 5 camp?
I think got a good shot at the 5 camp. There's a couple strong guys out there. Got some wins. I got to get some more bonus points. Having that points lead, hopefully you can carry it in and get the 15 bonus points for the regular season championship. That's the first goal. Got to get that and help me move on. That's like 3 wins in the playoffs. So.
Making the magic happen in the 5 camp, in the Hendrick Motorsports camp, looking strong as we slowly start to approach playoff time here. Want to give you the opportunity here, Ed, to thank anybody on the 5 team making the magic happen here for you. Floor's all yours, as is the microphone.
Yeah, just want to thank our sponsors. We got Butt Kicker, Budget Sim Boxes, CS Racing. Next week we have the Wade, I believe it's the Palmer race coming on board to sponsor for next week.
Tentatively.
So we're looking forward to that. So just want to thank all of our sponsors for, helping us out. Just big thanks to my wife and my kids, and just really thinking about Matt Mackin out there, making sure that we're waiting to hear an update on him. We, that's pretty much the most important thing right now. Just family and kids and everything. Great night.
100% camaraderie, a big deal here with the Lugz Racing family here. And Ed, congratulations. Great win here tonight. Awesome to be able to dedicate it to your teammate, Matt Mackin. We'll see you next week for sure.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Wade down here in Victory Lane with his teammate. Talked to him briefly already. Did you have anything for your teammate, Ed Boyles, in the 5 car? Were you kind of working with him just a little bit, kind of trying to secure that Hendrick Motorsports victory for sure? Or did you maybe have something for him?
Didn't want to push it too hard. Like I said, I didn't want to ruin either of our races. Just, running together, working together, that's the plan, and it worked. So.
Absolutely, and a solid run, 1-2 finish for Hendrick Motorsports with the 5 and the 24. Want to give you an opportunity here, Wade, to thank anybody that makes it happen for the Virtual 24 team. Friends, family, sponsors, partners, anybody that makes it happen for you.
Same sponsor list Ed gave. We work together on all that. Big shout out just to Matt, though. That's most, like Ed said, most important thing right now. We just hope he gets back. He's feeling better and back on the track soon.
100%. Great solid run here for the Michigan race, 150 miles down, and a little bit closer to the playoffs here, heading off to, I believe, Bristol next week. So that's going to be an exciting race for sure. And we're going to slide on down pit road just a little bit further. Keith Hume Sr. sporting some new colors on that number 1 car. First, we got to we got to talk to you about the race, and we got to talk to you about that new sponsor there. How'd it go, Keith?
Well, not bad. We kind of working together with our team and the satellite team at Hendrick Motorsports. We were fast early and got caught up in a little mess before that first caution came out, and then I ended up burned on a bad pit calls. But other than that, we were running. It seemed like we were running really fast, so came in late, took the wave around, came in late and got tires and was able to make a run up through there. If I'd have had one more lap, I'd have given them a run for it.
Made it look easy for sure, coming back up through the field a couple of times in that number 1 car and coming home with a solid third place finish here at Michigan. And not really an easy thing to do. Lots of different strategies, lots of different lines here at Michigan, lots of different ways to attack the racetrack. And well, you did it here tonight with new colors. We're used to seeing you in black and orange, a little black and blue and green and turquoise kind of thrown on. Talk to us about that new sponsor.
Well, Landshark Landshark Lager came on board, increased their role with us a little bit. We're going to do 2 races with them, doing Michigan and then not Darlington. I'm not sure. I don't remember what the other one was. South Point decided they would be okay with stepping aside a little bit, give us some exposure with Landshark Lager. Also, always got to thank Ripid Energy, Autism Speaks, Nationwide Children's Hospital.
Absolutely, and a good solid run here for the number 1 team coming home with the podium, the third place spot. Got to give you an opportunity to give a shout out. I already listed a lot of the sponsors. Any friends, family, fans out there watching at home, floor's all yours, bud.
Well, I've got to thank my wife for not getting too mad at me for spending a lot of time behind the wheel and trying to make these cars a little bit faster, working with the Hendrick Motorsports guys on setups. And obviously, I know we're just kind of beating a drum, but wishing well our buddy Matt Mackin. Need to have him back. It would have been nice to have him here today to work with. Probably could have taken off all the top 5 spots if we had him here to work with us. So we miss you, buddy. Keep digging. We're ready to get you back.
100%. That's what it's all about. Teammates, no team orders here tonight, but definitely a couple of, an entire field worth of drivers missing their buddy. And we hope to see Matt Mackin back at the racetrack, the virtual racetrack soon. But Keith, great run here. Congratulations. Solid podium finish. Top 3 coming home with the number 1 car.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Paul. Have a good night.
Absolutely. And man, oh man, just take a look at the schedule coming up here for the Lugz Cup Series. We're off at Bristol next week, which is going to be absolutely entertaining. We've seen a couple of Bristol races over the past couple of weeks here on Verdane TV. Then we get into Nashville Super Speedway, some road course racing after that at Sonoma, and then Charlotte Oval, the 2018 version of the racetrack, before we get on in to the playoffs. And there's a week off in there for these drivers to get a little practice in and get themselves a little bit of a game plan for the top 16 drivers that are going to be going for the championship. But man, oh man, it's going to be exciting throughout here. Again, going to be racing with the Lugz Cup Series all the way through the end of January of 2022. November, the first week of November, going to be kicking off a championship week. The Trans-Service Cup Series from Sim 500 going to be crowning a champion, as well as the Multi-League Cup Series. That's going to be the first week in November as we get closer and closer to their championship playoffs getting crowned. You can take a look at the schedule there on your screen tomorrow night. Speaking of Multi-League Cup Series, Talladega tomorrow night. That's going to be absolutely entertaining. And then we're off for a couple of days. Monday night kicks back with the Sim 500 Trans-Service Cup Series. And then right back here on Wednesday, a little doubleheader action. Tim's Corner Motorsports bringing us Tim's Corner live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And then right after that, the Lugz Cup Series, again, at Bristol next Wednesday night. Loaded schedule coming up here at Verdane TV for the month of October. Every single week of October, we've got at least 4 shows kicking off for you. NEPS is coming back. The New England, Pennsylvania iRacing Grand National Series, brought to you by Shift Marketing and Designs. Kicking off next Tuesday at Daytona. Going to be a big, big show and lots of lots of fans coming in, tuning in to check that out as well. So very excited to have those guys back, as well as having the Loose Lugz Cup Series back the very next night on Verdane TV. But that's going to do it here for us tonight. Loose Lug Cup Series action here at Michigan. The Matt Mackin 151 by his teammates there, Ed Boyles Jr. Matt, we hope you get well soon, buddy. Hope to see you at the virtual racetrack in the very, very near future. But until then, we will catch you on the flip side. When we do, we're going to be doing it live.